What's up, ladies and gents? This is KSigKid coming at you with another Destiny video. Yes, it's Tuesday yet again. That means it's reset day. So what we've got to do is we've got to go down to the tower, visit all the vendors, and see what god tier or amazing weapons they're actually bringing along. As usual, we're going to stop by every vendor. We're going to check out what I personally think are the best roles. If you've got a vendor you absolutely want to see what the god tier roles are or the best roles for the week, go ahead and skip to the beginning of each section, you'll see those there. We're also going to quickly go over the other weapons because you never know what weapons people are actually looking for. So as usual, we're going to go get started with New Monarchy. Okay, so we're starting on New Monarchy, and I'll be honest with you right from the get-go, if you want to just straight skip to the Crucible Quartermaster vendor, feel free to go ahead because there is absolutely nothing that I would even remotely recommend. Possibly the best of the bunch is this sniper rifle, but again, only for PvP, and even it is nowhere near good enough. Basically, I'm recommending this based on snapshot, and then at least a sight that people do enjoy. So it's really not great or good. The rest of the weapons are just as bad, even the sidearm. The sidearm, of course, it's a usable role, but you have a far better sidearm, I guarantee it. No need to waste your marks on this, and the rest of the weapons are just bad. This assembly, I just can't find this to be a really solid weapon choice ever, because the perks are so bad they don't fit up with these bad stats as well. You can't bump them up enough. The hand cannon isn't going to cut it. Rangefinder will never give you enough range to actually be able to compete in the Crucible, and no explosive rounds to even utilize it in PvE. And then the shotgun wants to give you all the range like it's a big impact slow rate of fire shotgun, except for it's simply not. So we're going to pass on that one. And finally, this machine gun. Oh my goodness. Super fast rate of fire, absolutely no stability, and none of these perks even help it out. We didn't even get persistence. So yeah, absolutely pass right on by New Monarchy this week. Don't think twice. Let's go to the Crucible Quartermaster. Okay, the Crucible Quartermaster is far better. I like pretty much every weapon here, though there are some that are far better than others, and I'm going to highlight those two weapons right now. They're both special weapons. One is the Each New Day Fusion Rifle. What I like about this is versatility. So whether you like stability on your fusions like I do, or range, you're in good shape. And then of course you've got life support or knee pads, and then hot swap. Very good, very solid, very versatile. I like this fusion rifle for sure, and I also like the shotgun, the Curtain Call. It's got full auto on it. Again, for those of you that do not have full auto shotguns, I like to have one in each flavor of burn. Also, you're getting that max range with rifle barrel, plus replenish or knee pads, so you've got a really nice and really solid Curtain Call. Now, it doesn't have aggressive ballistics, but it's still really good. So those are the two best weapons that I like. The rest of the weapons, we'll go over them quickly. They're all pretty interesting. So this auto rifle, boy, can you fire any slower? But even with that, you've got persistence, and then I'd probably go with the increased magazine size over lowering magazine size. I would like to do that. I feel like this would be pretty interesting to use, but I wouldn't make it a top tier choice. Even the party favor is pretty much okay, but I'm not a huge fan of Headseeker. I like Counterbalance better, but you do have Outlaw over here or Feeding Frenzy, and then in the middle you've got to go with Rifle Barrel, which means that your stability is going to be just a little bit lower than I'd actually like, and that's why I really wouldn't recommend this. I feel like you want more stability to hit those bursts together. The hero formula looks really interesting too. Reactive reload, great. Explosive rounds, great. But in this first column, nothing exactly phenomenal over here. They're kind of just a little bit useless perks, so unfortunately, you might find and wait for a better hero formula in the weeks to come. Moving on next, we've got the Palindrome. Now yes, the Palindrome is hitting max range, but here's my problem. Reactive reload is great, but we have no reload perks over here. So it's going to take too long to really get any use out of this. If you had Feeding Frenzy or Outlaw, something like that, then this would be great. But as it is right now, I would pass on the Palindrome this week, even though it's hitting max range. The sidearm, it's good. We've got hot swap, we've got extra range, that's a good thing, and then we've got crowd control or Zen moment, all good things. Nothing wrong with this sidearm at all. And then moving on to the event horizon, again, we've got things like Snapshot. Yes, the problem is, even though you could utilize this in a PvE environment or a PvP one, I don't like the sights. And sights are one of the two things that really make or break a sniper rifle for me, in my personal opinion. Now the machine gun looks pretty interesting too. So we've got persistence, we've got a lot of stability, and then we've got aggressive ballistics for the extra impact. So I'm actually kind of digging that. In the first column, unflinching or hip fire, neither of these are going to make you jump up and down, but they're not really terrible either. They're just kind of so-so middle of the pack. But I am liking perfect balance and persistence plus aggressive ballistics. And then finally, for a rocket launcher, we've got cluster bombs, we've got more rockets, so that's good, and then vacuum, which you obviously will not use. You would use life support just by default, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Definitely has some PvE potential to it. But again, if I was making my top 2 choices, it would be these 2 special weapons. I think they have the best rolls on them, though there are a lot of other really good rolls in here, but they're missing out one thing or another from being a true god tier type roll. So Crucible Quartermaster at least saved us, because man, New Monarchy was so bad. Hopefully Vanguard is holding up his end of the bargain too. And then sometimes some people see you in the tower, and then a spontaneous dance party ends up erupting, and congratulations, you guys are now famous, you're in the Vizia. But what's not famous is the Vanguard Quartermaster. Unfortunately, he is not bringing the heat like his brother, and the weapons here, really nothing to write home about. Though there are about 3 things that kind of pique my interest. Only one though would I ever possibly buy, and that's the Parthian shot. So unfortunately though, it doesn't have counterbalance. And that pretty much to me is one of the main things, though I know some people absolutely love Headseeker, so that's why I'm not throwing it out. We've got Headseeker, we've got a ton of stability, and then you've got your reload perk. You've got Outlaw, which is great, or partial refund if you so wanted to, but Outlaw would work out really well for you. So I do like the Parthian shot, but me personally, I'd rather have counterbalance. If you like Headseeker and you've never picked this up, then this should work out pretty well for you. The other 2 weapons are the Angel's Advocate, which isn't god tier, there's nothing absolutely insane about it, but it looks like it could work pretty well together, so that's why I'm just highlighting this one just a little bit. Nothing terribly wrong with it, nothing terribly right with it either. And then finally, since we mentioned the rocket launcher for the Crucible Quartermaster, we might as well recommend it here as well, because it's got cluster bombs, it's got Field Scout, and then Army of One, so again, this is PvE for sure. The rest of the weapons though, I would pretty much skip. Continental, this one does not have an amazing roll. Continental can come with amazing rolls. Stats on Continental are phenomenal. Pass by that one. The hand cannon, oh jeez. I mean, what are you going to do with this thing? What are you going to do? Don't be fooled by the range perk. What are you going to do? You're going to pass right on by this. You're going to move to the fusion rifle, which you also will not use. Hidden hand, perfect balance, that's at least nice. But I would skip this one. If I was going to get a fusion rifle, I'd buy the one from the Crucible Quartermaster. And then the Teacup Tempest, again, just too low of a magazine size. Snapshot is nice, but we're going to pass by this one. No real need for it. Moving on to the Occam's Razor. Man, I want this thing to come with full auto far more often than it does. I don't even know what it's trying to pretend to be, but you don't need it. You don't want it until it has full auto. The Sniper Rifle with no impact, you know we're already not a fan of that. And then we don't have anything else that's even remotely bringing this to the table aside from the long view scope, which has pretty nice aim assist. And then finally, the Bone Crusher, which I do like for heavy machine guns, but this roll, not a big fan of. I absolutely do not want to lower that magazine size, and nothing else is really god tier, so pass by that one. Parthian shot's really the only thing I would buy from the Vanguard Quartermaster. Okay, finally with Dead Orbit, we've got something I absolutely 100% love. This is so far my weapon of the week, and it is the Keystone. I'm absolutely going to buy this thing. Crowd control, that's nice, but what do you see over to the left? You see explosive rounds. Yes, absolutely, for PvE, and then we've got Outlaw as well. Now, I would have loved to have Firefly and explosive rounds together, but this is going to work out pretty freaking well as well. Now, if only you could increase the stability a bit, but you really don't want small bore. At least I personally don't. So I'm going to rock out explosive rounds, outlaw, crowd control. It's going to be a good time. This is my #1 recommendation for sure. God tier, amazing. Pick it up, buy it if you do not have one. For the other weapons, well, let's just say that this shotgun isn't a bad single shot shotgun because you've got some range. It's not the full max range, but you do have rangefinder, so that's a pretty nice combination. And then of course you do have snapshot, so this isn't that bad. The other weapon is actually the sniper rifle, because this looks like it has some potential for fun, again for PvP, because of that low impact. You do not want to use this sucker in PvE, but you've got a nice scope, you've got short gaze, you've got snapshot. That's about all you really need. For fun, you've got Firefly and Clown cartridge, so not bad. The rest of the weapons though, I would skip. Extremophile, just like its brother the Continental, it can come better than this, so we're gonna pass by this one. No thank you Extremophile, and then no thank you as well to the fusion rifle for worlds to come. Again, the fusion rifle I'm recommending this week comes from the Crucible Quartermaster. All these rest ones aren't really showing up to the table. All these rest ones, nice. And finally, of course, we've got the rocket launcher, Unto Dust. Unto Dust, go away. Just go away. Field Scout, and that is it. Pass. Finally, we're going to close out with some future war cult. Let's see if there's anything that can remotely compete with this Keystone, because I'm digging that one. Okay, our last vendor actually is looking pretty nice. A nice way to close this out. So there are about 4 of these weapons that I think have some nice potential. The best of the bunch though is the Wormwood. This is an amazing roll, hidden hand, more range, and then snapshot. I like it. I absolutely like it. In fact, I might compare this to my own Wormwood, see which one's better, and then potentially buy this. It's really good. Also, I'm kind of digging the rest of the weapons that are over here on the right hand side, starting with the weighting. So if you really want a weighting fusion rifle, this is a really nice roll. Perfect balance for more stability. Now here's the problem. Saladin's Vigil is definitely the better fusion rifle, but if you absolutely want the weighting, this is a pretty nice roll. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and showcase it. For the scout rifle, the Wounded, it looks pretty good for PvP. Yes, I said PvP, not PvE, even though it has Firefly. My thought is the magazine size is just lower than what you'd get with the Vision of Confluence or the Cryptic Dragon. So I might rather use this in PvP with some quick draw, some perfect balance, and some Firefly for a nice AoE. Could put in some work for you there. And then finally, we've got a rocket launcher for PvE. We've got cluster bombs. We've got lots of blast radius, max blast radius, or battle runner, which is a really fun perk. And then more rockets with Field Scout. Now please don't use it in PvP. That velocity is far too low. The rest of the weapons though, we are going to pass. So the Waltz, it's got Headseeker, but it's not really increasing that stability by any measurable amount. So pass by the Waltz, we don't want it. And finally, I guess we'll kind of talk about the Whale for a second. It is trying to be like the Fatebringer, but no Firefly over here, and only 7 bullets in the magazine. That is pretty low for a PvE style of hand cannon. So overall, Future War Cult wasn't that bad. By far the best weapon I saw this week was that Keystone, and I'm definitely going to buy that. I might even buy the Wormwood as well. Just need to compare it to my own. Anyway guys and gals, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your vendors, and I'll see you around in Destiny. #Keystone.